Having the top American diplomat on Chinese soil around the same time as the Human Rights Forum is a massive win for the Chinese, even if that's not what he's there to discuss. Niall Stanage here, White House columnist for our partners at The Hill. My reporting, Niall, says that there's a real split in the administration between how to deal with China, because you've got John Kerry and others who believe that the most important thing is climate change, and that's what they want to talk to. And you need China's help for that, so appease China at all costs. And then you've actually got some real hawks who worry that China is just continuing to, eat what's theirs, and negotiate about what's ours.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is broadly true. Obviously, they wouldn't use the word appeasement for that strategy. The Biden administration again and again talks about competition, not conflict. In the view of the White House, this is about managing a rivalry, making sure it doesn't overheat or get into miscommunication. The president has talked about the need to thaw relations from how they've been earlier this year.
All right, so this is Michael Waltz, Republican, and admitted China hawk about that. Take a listen.
This underlying belief in this administration that if only we can reestablish diplomacy, if only we can get our adversaries to the table and be kind enough, be gentle enough, and make enough concessions, that they'll return the favor in kind.
The flip side of that is him saying there's no red lines. Let's give the administration the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes things are said in private that aren't said in public. Has your reporting shown any bright red lines laid down by the Biden administration against the Chinese?
I don't think there are bright red lines, because the question is, if a bright red line is crossed, what do you do about it? And that's a question that is a difficult one to answer, regardless of whether you're in this administration or you're in the Republican Party. I think there's a lot of criticism shouted that we need to be tougher on China. But when it gets to what specifically should we do about it, the decibel level tends to drop quite a lot.
Right. And to be fair, that's the next 10 words, right? It's always easy to criticize and say, do more. OK, what does that look like? And to be fair, President Biden is the first U.S. president to say we will defend Taiwan. He was not unambiguous about that. This just broke a couple of hours ago. First people sickened by COVID-19 were Chinese scientists at Wuhan Institute of Virology, says U.S. government sources. 3 scientists were engaged in gain-of-function research when they fell ill. The declassified report on the origins of COVID is supposed to be delivered to Congress on Sunday. Makes sense that this is an early leak. What are the White House preparations for what could be real public anger about China while you've got Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, in China doing exactly what the Chinese want?
The focus of the White House has been on that trip. They think that that is an important step to establishing communication, to avoiding the dangers of misunderstanding or escalation. Now, you put that in juxtaposition with the story that you just mentioned, and that is a problem, because obviously and understandably for the American people, those kind of revelations or reports are much more immediate, much more viscerally felt than these more esoteric concerns about exactly how the relationship works out.
Yeah, what happens in the South, in the Taiwan Strait's a little different than hearing about COVID. All right, Niall, thank you very much. Pleasure as always, sir. Good to see you. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.